It's summertime, which means there's a new cast of Big Brother players jumping into the Big Brother house, and right away they're thrown a huge twist to vote on Ainsley becoming a 17th house guest. Ends up Ainsley, though, is BBAI, and all those who said yes have a chance to get a power-up, and all those who say no have a chance to have their game downgraded into BB mascots. We find out the power-ups are America's Veto, won by Mackenzie, and Deepfake HOH, which is won by Quinn. Chelsea and Cedric are BB mascots, and they can't vote or play in any comps the rest of this week. As the game starts, Angela calls out Matt and Mackenzie for becoming an obvious showmance and that it's going to happen. This really upsets Matt and Mackenzie, but you know what happens next? Angela wins the first Head of Household and Shuffleboard. Oh, wow. Well, while in her one-on-ones, Quinn tells her about the power that he just got as Deepfake HOH, being able to take over somebody's HOH reign. He also tells Chemo this power later this week, but Matt has the stupid idea of threatening in her HOH room on these one-on-ones, saying that if she puts him up, he'll stay and he'll get her out the very next week. This scares Angela so much that she nominates Kenny, Lisa, and Chemo, all quiet people in the house, to start out. And after the nomination ceremony, everybody hugged Angela, who was emotional, except for evil Matt. What does this lead to? Well, an epic breakdown of Angela. Matt. Everybody should go watch it. All about crazy eyes and Matt getting a whole bunch of people to rally against him, and Angela just goes all in. This is right before the Power of Veto, which ends up being a spelling POV comp, which Lisa wins, and all of a sudden, two of our older castmates have won the first two comps of the year. Matt becomes the easy replacement, and while all this Matt chaos is going on with Angela, the Pentagon forms with Brooklyn, Quinn, Cedric, Cam, and Chelsea. Chemo ends up winning the AI Arena, and Matt ends up being evicted in a vote of 9-3, with the only people protecting him being Lisa, Leah, and Mackenzie, who definitely was starting to showmance him by the end of week 1. Out of a crazy Angela HOH, we get a member of the Pentagon, Chelsea, winning the HOH in week 2. Angela, Kenny, and Lisa all kind of volunteer for the block. Lisa not as much, but she is Chelsea's main target. During the nominations conversations, Mackenzie tells Chelsea about her power, which ends up being told to everybody else by the end of this week. And this is where we kind of learn Tucker hates Lisa. Like, really hates Lisa. Lisa has glitter. Lisa upsets Tucker. Nothing Lisa can do can make Tucker happy. Tucker really hates Lisa. Quinn then forms the Visionaries with Chemo and Takor, and instantly rats out the Pentagon, saying he feels at the bottom of the Pentagon and that he's going to be more loyal to Takor and Chemo. But this information may come back to bite him in the butt later. It's POV time, and Kenny, despite not wanting to be there and saying he wants to quit the game, wins the POV. Oh my! And Tucker volunteers to be a renom to make sure Lisa doesn't win AI Arena, and Lisa goes home because Tucker hates Lisa. In all this mess, though, Quinn rats on Angela for saying that the group of people that whether she wants to target or work with, we don't know, of Takor, Cam, Chelsea, and Cedric. He rats that out, and this causes a big blow up again for her. And really wasn't a great move because, Quinn, you told Angela about your deepfake HOH. Well, later that week, Angela kind of told Tucker that Quinn had this power, and then Chemo, also solidified that information, so Tucker now knows both about Mackenzie and Quinn's power. We get to the time for the AI Arena, and guess what? Tucker saves himself, Lisa gets evicted, hallelujah, and HOH goes well, and Tucker is happy. Who's the next HOH, you might say? Well, it is another member of the Pentagon and Cedric. At this point, though, Joseph is hell-bent on getting a fake alliance from week 1, The Collective, which featured Joseph, Takor, Chemo, Quinn, Cedric, Cam, and Chelsea. as a 7-person alliance, and the Pentagon quickly moved to get Brooklyn added as an 8th member and allows the collective to form. Tucker, Kenny, and Angela all basically volunteer for the block and are nominated from Cedric, and Tucker wins the big POV and comes up with this big plan alongside Cedric to get Quinn out. He outs that Quinn has the power, and his plan was to use the veto on Angela so Quinn can go on the block and be voted out. Little did he know, Quinn was in the Pentagon with Cedric, and Cedric instead went with putting Mackenzie on the block to get her to use her power of America's veto, which allows her to leave the block and America to vote a renom, and all hell breaks loose. Tucker is super upset. He calls out Cedric a whole lot. He outs Quinn's power. He's now on the block with Kenny, and Angela out of nowhere are safe. The veto ends up being, used, and America chooses Quinn to go up. But at this point, it becomes clear Tucker needs to win or else Tucker goes home. But guess what Tucker does? He wins AI Arena. Oh my, he sure wins a lot. And Kenny finally gets his wish to leave the Big Brother house. Heading into week 4, it's Quinn's last chance to use the deepfake HOH. And it would be really bad if one of his targets, oh shoot, Angela won her second HOH, can't be targeted, and basically just own a whole knockout competition. That's okay though, because Tucker is Quinn's main target, and to make sure Tucker doesn't win the POV or AI Arena, he's going to put up 2 comp threats in Mackenzie and Cedric, who volunteered so he can beat Tucker in the POV, wanting to prove himself. At this point, though, Takor and Kimo are starting to have major doubts about the collective, knowing that Quinn and everybody in the Pentagon is still in there, and they aren't really that, interested in what Takor and Kimo have to say. Also at this time, Tucker's kind of showmancing up Rabina, being flirty here and there, so guess who wins POV? Tucker. Target level increasing, he wins everything. Quinn decides to put Rabina up. Now, Tikor and Kimo really wanted Leah to go on the block, which makes sense because Leah has said a lot of stuff about Quinn and not trusting Quinn, but Leah is pretty, and Quinn really wants Leah to be a crush with him, so he never puts Leah up as an option, and because Tikor and Kimo never tell Quinn about this dirt, their close ally Rabina gets on the block. This really upsets Tikor and Kimo, so they think the whole week over should they flip the vote if it ends up being Cedric versus Rabina. Obviously, if MJ loses, she'll go home, but if Mackenzie wins the AI Arena, will they flip it? Well, they think, and they decide they're going to do it on Thursday afternoon. They fill in Joseph. They fill in the people they need to. But that's not going to matter else. Oh my god, Mackenzie won the AI Arena. They're going to flip and take out Cedric. And guess what? Cedric, Quinn's close ally, is gone. The Pentagon is blown up. And oh my goodness, this house is flipping and flopping all over the place. Right after Cedric was gone, you can tell Brooklyn was blindsided. Chelsea, Quinn, and Cam and Brooklyn, they're all upset. Brooklyn is the most livid. What's that, Big Brother? The wall is here? What an amazing endurance comp to see who's going to win after this amazing blindside. Can you guess who the final 2 are? That's right, it's Quinn versus Tucker. And we're going to see... Oh, the feed is cut out, but we come out to Tucker winning the HOH, and guess what? He solidifies his own alliance with 4 core members of Rabina, Tikor, Kimo, and him, as well as Angela and Joseph, making 6th Avenue. He nominates Quinn Brooklyn as Cam, but he thinks that, you know what, even though I have this big beef with Quinn, it's very clear that Brooklyn is the bigger fish to fry this week. She has more control over the house, and he even thinks that Chelsea should be going up as a renom if he wins POV and takes Quinn down. He does tell Quinn, hey, you're a pawn, I'm going to use the veto on you if I win, but if you tell anybody, we're going to break this deal. So all you got to do, Quinn, is be quiet for 48 hours, and you'll be... Oh, what's that? Quinn told Brooklyn within 5 hours? Man, this guy tells everybody everything. Next morning, Brooklyn rats him out. Tucker gets very mad and decides to win another POV with hide-and-go veto. Man, his target is so huge he doesn't know how to lose. Tikor and Kimo really try to get Tucker to save Quinn and nominate Mackenzie, mainly because at this point Tikor has this great belief and this, black woman pact that Chelsea and her will not target each other before jury, and she really wants Chelsea to be in her final five because, T-Core thinks this is Friends and not Big Brother, which is funny because that's what they end up naming their 4-person core group, Frenzy. That doesn't work, though, because Tucker still uses the veto on Quinn and puts up Chelsea because Brooklyn is his target, and he says if Brooklyn wins AI Arena, it has to be Chelsea because they're too powerful together, which honestly is 100% the right read. But what happens this week? Well, T-Court doesn't agree, so she makes sure no matter what, Chelsea is going to be safe, even if Brooklyn wins AI Arena. And man, would this have caused a big blow up, but it doesn't matter because Chelsea wins the AI Arena and then Brooklyn leaves. Side note from this week, Brooklyn had a Angela's charcuterie board without Angela's permission because Angela was a have-not. And let's just say Angela got very, very upset by this. And when you start looking at stuff, Angela's karma is kind of working hard in this house. Matt goes the first week. Lisa, an enemy, goes the second week. Another enemy, Kenny, goes. Another enemy, Cedric, goes. And now another big enemy of Angela, Brooklyn, goes. Is it Angela's karma? Or does everybody just not like Angela in this house? Oh well, it's time for week 6, and guess who wins HOH? It was the core, and everybody was so happy and proud for the core. But now T-Core has a problem. She still kind of has a Visionaries pact with Quinn, so she can't nominate Quinn. She has the 6th Avenue Alliance, and she has this pact with Chelsea where she straight up says Chelsea is not an option to put on the block. So this puts her into a pickle to where she's looking for somebody to try and volunteer. And what's that, Tucker? You're volunteering for the block even though you're telling her you really, really, really don't want to go up. You really, really think it's stupid. You really, really think with all of her allies it makes no sense. That doesn't matter to T-Core because she doesn't want to hurt somebody else. So she nominates Cam, Mackenzie, and Tucker. Rubina and Tucker's showmance is starting to be outed more, thanks to Tucker being the AI instigator, and Leia is becoming very jealous. But you know who also is very jealous? Angela, because Angela thought she had a final 2 with Tucker, and now she's starting to have doubts. But what's that? It's a POV time, and it's a classic POV where you have rewards and you have punishments. Cam ends up winning the POV, stopping Tucker's winning streak, and Tucker ends up taking a punishment as well, where he has to do BB assist answering questions. Angela has to do a big endurance punishment, and Joseph gets to spend 24 hours in the Matrix, where he has to listen to Matt ramble in AI form for 24 hours. Well, Angela completes her punishment in about 9 hours, and she has a new plan. I need to get Tucker out. He isn't going to take me to the end. He's going to take somebody else. She tells this to Quinn, Leah, and Chelsea, and you know what Quinn does? He immediately rats it out because this man cannot hold a secret. This gets Angela in some trouble, which basically, pushes her up to be a renom option again, even though T-Core was always kind of choosing it to be that way. Though the rest of 6th Avenue with Tucker, Rubina, and Chemo all want Leia on the block, and they all try to convince T-Core to put Leia on the block, but Quinn convinces T-Core to put up Angela as a replacement instead. So here we are, Angela, Mackenzie, and Tucker are our 3 nominees, and Joseph leaves solitary confinement, and we learn that he was not the master of his domain. Tucker is very mad at T-Core for putting up 2 6th Ave members, and he is worried he may be going home. T-Core is assured by everybody in the house that Tucker is safe, but Chelsea rallies the troops so that if Tucker loses AI Arena, he is gone. And, well, what happens Thursday night on day 45? Mackenzie wins AI Arena, Tucker and Angela are the 2 nominees, and much like Cedric during Quinn's HOH reign, Tucker gets voted out on the HOH reign of his close ally T-Core, and the house is flipped once more.